All of these years later, I learned lessons a little bit too late. I won't live in regret, but I'll fix everything I can. Affirmations for keeping your own head intact. Not everyone's gonna value your time, energy, or the sacrifices that you make for them. Not everyone wants to see you succeed, and so much so that they are even willing to go out of their own ways to meddle in, purposefully to see you fail. Learn to be self-sufficient, and also that if you don't, you will inevitably suffer horrible consequences. Become as resourceful and independent as you possibly can be. You have to stop worrying about what other people think or not think about the endeavors that you decide to take up. I mean, seriously, why give a shit? Keep it to yourself and grind in silence. If you are actually doing the inner heart work that needs to be done, who cares what anybody else thinks? They won't find fault or blame. Remember, stupidity and lacking of morality is contagious. Don't play nice with the lifers. Let the haters hate. Lord knows that they are not going to play nice with you. So why would you play nice with them? Your friends want you to do good, but never better than they. Always be turning your minds to be grateful, because in spite of everything that you're going through, at least knowing within your shared values that you have with other people that they truly do matter, at least in the ways of dreams lived from within the heart and not external ones. Do what you love, or somebody is going to enjoy the fact that you aren't working on yourself anymore, because then you'll prove the utmost use to them. You'll be staying down. Don't stay down or allow anyone the power to hold you down. Don't chase happiness. Rather, just stay as positive and of sound mind, body, and spirit as you possibly can be, and feel the true joy. A humble joy is the best joy to be felt. Even in all of the madness within you, you will have established peace. Pay close attention to someone who says, "I love you." They don't. They only use you. Trust in yourself and your own instincts. Trust in the gut feelings that you have within your bellies to make your own decisions. When you're raising the stakes, set the bar high. In life, raise the bar when possible. And when you get it just right and everything seems to be going your way, expect the unexpected. Lower your expectations of other people, as having your expectations set too high is a chronic recipe for dissatisfaction in life altogether. Focus on your grind. People may come and people may go. If you do not control your mind, thoughts, or feelings, someone else is gonna enjoy the hell out of doing all of those things for you. Sometimes these things which break our hearts end up clearing up our vision, and the things people sometimes do to try to absolutely kill us off or leave us better off dead, as they say, end up setting us on fire instead. That loneliness, that ache inside, and just sheer aloneness is the price you have to pay sometimes if you want to improve your situation. Be proud of yourself for surviving when everybody else thought you wouldn't, maybe even hoped that you wouldn't. To some people working tirelessly against you so that you couldn't. So tighten up that game of yours. Put on that war paint. It's go time. Not everyone will like you, and that's perfectly fine. If I'm not in competition with them, or if I was, and all they do, or try to do, is drag me down, I already stand above them. Stop telling people everything that you have going on. People don't actually care as much as they show, and some secretly hide in the shadows, hoping that you fail. Be good to others, and be of good cheer, but don't let people use you. Once they do, you're setting them up to be able to continue to do so, which they will. It's better to be hated for something that you are than to be loved for someone that you are not. Don't ever go broke trying to impress broke people. Stay away from people who make you feel alone and alone in their company. No company is worse than that of being in bad company. Make peace with all that shit from your past so it won't mess up the present. Don't look so much at what others look like in their struggles, as you have no idea what their actual struggle is all about. You have no idea what these people have been faced with. Nobody else is going to figure out your life for you. It's only solely your responsibility how you want to carry yourselves, or if you want to recreate yourselves. Just how do you want to go about it? Nobody has the right to shroud you with ill-intentioned feelings or signal you through activities that they take up to replace what heart-centered emotion that you brought into this whole mess, or into the whole relationship is what I mean with them. You encompass the relationship with them in whole, or you don't encompass that relationship at all. If you are the quote-unquote nice guy, as they say, you can almost assuredly know that this life will screw you up in the worst ways imaginable. Even then, it may even be worse. You will be pulled down out of jealousy, envy, or a simple lacking of a moral compass on their part, as not too many people know what it even means to be a morally culpable person these days to much of anything. Not too much of anything at all, to be frank. Don't be surprised. It's normal. A bad phase of your life can start at any time, even in the midst of an already long and arduous, quote-unquote, bad phase. I've been unprecedentedly forced, or rather, coerced, and made to be within one of those, quote, bad phases within my life. Most of the time, you have to swallow that pain and tighten up, toughen up, and learn how to grow and cultivate that part of your life all by yourself. Though anyone has the right to walk away from anybody else's life, don't allow them to leave you with nothing left. And sometimes it's best to just let them think that they are the one that got away, when in reality, you are the one that dodged the bullet. Trust wisely and not blindly. Your friends' problems become your problems, so the smaller you can keep your circle, the less bullshit you'll have to deal with. Never expect someone to catch up when you fall. Work on yourselves, for yourselves, and yourselves only. Be proud of how hard you are trying, and that you are willing to fight. It's commendable to fight as hard as you grind, for you yourselves are like yourselves, unique. In your own right, not everyone has that fight or that drive left inside of them the way you think it is. A lot of times, it's been beat the shit right out of them. They might make it look easy. They might make it look like they're okay. But inside, they are dying. Fight for those who fight for you. Fight for only those who truly love you. And those who lost their own fight. You go to work extra hard for these people. They might be hurting, and they might be hurting a lot. but they are still your people. Stop looking behind you. You aren't going that way. You are going to new places, places of honor, and that show actual integrity and value behind their actions and behaviors. Don't depend too much on anyone in this world. Rather, depend on your own solid strengths that you can foster. Continue to grow them, water them, channel them, and continue to improve on them. Even the smallest improvements can begin a snowball effect rolling in the right direction. Don't just make a living working for somebody else. Make a fortune by working on your own selves. When you find yourself at your lowest, you'll realize a lot. Remember, if you start today, some of your most cherished memories haven't even been created yet. Shape that reality. The reality in which we live in is something that only you can contend with, and be the contender. Be the front line man, working really hard on bettering yourself, and by working on yourself, you will most assuredly surpass everyone else unwilling to take that leap. Take the leap of faith in your own life and in your own way. Take calculated risks. You'll be glad you did, even if you failed miserably. It could be the one move that you made, taking on a catapult of change that otherwise wouldn't have ever have been changed. Not one person is too busy. It's only a matter of prioritizing those you want in your lives. But sometimes it's through an act of manipulative bullshit that people run into. Conditions of a well-connected, well-informed, little tight-knit group of individuals, or tight-knit group of government controls that make it so to actually utilize the system to betray you so bad there's no bouncing back from. If you aren't willing to prioritize your partner's well-being, you don't deserve a partner at all. If it makes you genuinely happy, keep quiet about it. The best move you can make is to stop thinking that anyone gives as much a shit about the things that you give a shit about as you are going to give a shit about them. Love, anyway. Love as hard as possible, but don't let love get in the way of your wisdom. I have no time to share my value with people who appear to only be surface level interactions. After all, what are we here for? Isn't deeper and more meaningful relations actually what we are here for? Why is it so many of us are only left with one or none? Life doesn't make sense. They say you shouldn't try and reinvent the wheel. If the wheel is broken, reinvent that bitch. I get the concept, but when things are broken, they need fixing. Never force, don't chase, and don't beg. Life is just like a movie with all of the ups and downs, the sadness moments, the moments of joy and peace. All of the parts are necessary to fulfill the fullest potential of our lives, as within the darkest moments, the spark begins to ignite a flame so tall and so wide, it can't be stopped. People will not value the time of another person who doesn't value their own, or those who do not value the time that we have on this earth, for there is an actual equitable amount of time that we're left to be here on this earth. There are great reasons. Our goals is to come to that life, to meet that life, and to really truly feel that life inside of our chests. The strongest people are those who fight battles that others know nothing about. The pain you feel today will become the strength that you'll feel tomorrow. Nevertheless, limited pain would be nice. Be willing to channel your energies and turn your wounds into wisdom. Hold the pen of your own life and tell the stories you have to tell. Never let anyone else hold the pen that is your life. Dictate your own path, or put you into a place of questioning your own reality. Don't put off your important health adventures or appointments that you've set for yourself simply because you're faced with a newfound reality. Sometimes it's good to get checked out. Oftentimes, the better solution I've found is holistics. They actually feel like they take care of the problem in a way that feels for good. Exercise. Do it. It may be unpleasurable for now, but just like exercise, the more you do something, anything you love, it's hard to do at first, but the more you do it, you will grow a love for it. Foster that love, and it will grow. If there's a breach of trust, and you find a reason to say goodbye forever, say goodbye forever. There's no sense in trying to hold on to something that just isn't there, and especially within your own heart's values and when you're doing heart work of your own. Have compassion and realize that everyone makes mistakes. No one is going to be perfect. Time can heal almost any wound. If you're willing to give it time, it may be all you need. Right now, do that. Give it time. And if that is true, then be easy on yourselves and actually do it. Give it the appropriate time it needs to heal. Give it the appropriate time it needs to do the work that the inner heart needs to do. You stay the course within it. You pray on it. You meditate on it. And this is what it takes to do heart work. It's doing the inner work necessary for our loved ones so that we can encompass the best life possible with them. Going through a difficult situation, just always remember that this time too shall pass. Bad habits are like a cigarette. It's so easy to get into the habit of smoking. You know, it smells so gross and it tastes so gross after just a few short drags. The bad habit sticks with you and it's hard to quit. Discipline is difficult. The easiest thing in the world that anybody can do is give up or just not try anymore. Some you will win, some you will lose, but you always learn if you want to learn. If no one is willing to help you, go it alone. Facing battles on your own only makes you a more formidable man in your journey. It is true. You want to take your financial life seriously, but always remember this important rule. Money isn't everything, especially not in relationships. But it most certainly will help a lot of life's challenges. Be selfish with your time. A lot of people don't even deserve it. A lot of people, frankly, will abuse the shit out of your time. Neglecting your purpose in life, you're only neglecting to realize that while they mistreat you and while you're allowing them to use you, that you could be still treating them right. And by doing all of the right things, all the right times, but you're not doing it for yourselves, you're doing it for them. You need to instill a way to treat others right, but by doing the right things for yourself. If doing the right things for yourself is somehow treating them wrong, then do them wrong, because it isn't wrong. If someone doesn't need any kind of healing just to walk away, you're not an option. You are the only one, or you mean nothing to them. If they're gonna make you an option, leave them alone like it's a choice. What other people think of you is none of your business. You can't go back into the past and change your past, but You do have what's in front of you right now, and you can begin taking on those changes and challenges right now from all you have in front of you and from with all of the energy that you have within you. Don't you owe it to yourself? I mean, don't you really owe it to yourself? Be alone. Honor yourself. Honor the time it takes to heal. Give yourself time in that process. The longer prayers and the longer meditation and the more meaning you have filled inside of your very core, the better off you are. Don't take those hurts into your next relationships. Process it and take all of the time that you need. If you can't heal, you'll never be able to feel. And if you can't feel, what's the point in anything? The more time that you need for healing, the more time that you'll have for processing. And sometimes that processing can take years, but at least you can collect it down to bite-sized pieces and attack it. In that time you take for yourself, get you back right. And get up when you have to get up. Fight back when you have to fight back. You owe it to yourself to take all the time that you need. But when it's time to fight, you do what is right. And you get up. And you fight. Sometimes you'll have to stop seeing the good in other people. Though you may want to even believe the lies that you're telling yourselves, or the lies that they're telling you because you love these people. Believe only what people are willing to show you and the extent of that length that they're willing to show you, and nothing more. Don't pretend to be better than you are. Live at your own pace. But up to that pace, once you get it right, then you'll start to get better. And when you get better, that's when you'll get faster. The deepest and darkest pains and running into situations that really put you into a lot of extreme heartache and pain may actually be the best thing that ever happened to you. You might not know it now, but removing demons of envy, jealousy, or any of the others, gluttony, it's just a waste of your time. Trust me, you already have everything you need. If you don't ever ask, you can't ever receive. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you're forthright and you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Life isn't fair, but it still can be really good. He who isn't confident enough to take calculated risk will accomplish nothing in his life. Never trust words alone. Trust actions and patterns which prove otherwise. Do yourself a favor and do everything in your power to get rich. Life gets a little bit easier the more money you have, but not with time. Time is nobody's friend. If you can survive your own darkest thoughts and in your own darkest hours, you can survive anything. If you have a voice to speak, use it, even if your voice shakes. If you value something and you want to speak out about it, speak out about it. Learn to heal without the need for venting to other people. People might actually care, sure. It's nice that they do, nice when it works out that way. But in reverse of that nice thought, all you might be doing is letting someone into your thoughts who is also belittling your values and using any bit of that knowledge they gain in order to use your goodness and your true character against you, say to disappoint you, or even fuck you up in the worst ways that you've ever been fucked up before. To avoid disappointment, don't expect anything from anybody. Everything comes to you at the right time. Trust in the process, or trust in the Lord. Nevertheless, trust that the process is a part of your progress. You have to be patient. Failure is a bruise, not a tattoo. Avoid gossip and leading people to know too much, as it is a pointless and meaningless task. That time just gets wasted. To talk with meaning and value is one thing, but to talk about another holds poison and opens the door for demons to allow them to come in. The root of all suffering is attachment. Time always exposes what you truly mean to someone. Stress is temporary, but the lessons learned in times of increased stress can last a whole lifetime. When someone is bringing you down and you sense it, they are already below you. Sure, money isn't everything, but it sure can help solve a lot of problems. No matter how smart, successful, or charming that you are, nobody likes arrogance. Humility is everything. Don't regret having a sincere heart. All good things come back to those who are good and multiply. Don't feel guilty about doing what's best for yourselves. Choose your friends wisely. Sometimes it doesn't matter all of the good things that you try and do. There's a lot of good people dead who tried many things and failed at every one of them. And in that, life is very unfair. To know that we could be sharing in dreams made by history that got to live theirs. I don't even think that people understand the magnitude of their dreams that they could be living today, had the dreamers of the history been able to dream the dreams they dreamt and make them come into fruition. Don't feel guilty about doing what's best for yourselves. Choose your friends wisely. The best way to better ourselves is to surround ourselves with better people. Hope for the best, but prepare, however, for the worst. Don't be a people pleaser. You will find yourselves alone often going through life, and often going through the most difficult situations of your life. These trying times will make you wise and a fearless competitor in the face of this trying time. Our time is not supposed to feel like a war, but for many of us, this trying time feels like nothing else but a war. It doesn't matter which place you are in or where the cards got dealt and the hand that you got dealt. It's still the same old war. We're in this together, or we're just not doing the right things here. No matter how nice, respectful, honest, or compassionate you are, some people will just be talking badly about you behind your back no matter what you do. Just remember this. CEOs start with nothing, just like you. People who have high investments start with $1. With no knowledge or skills to acquire the millions and the billions that they have today. They all started from ground zero. So start today. Challenge your own growth and focus on bettering yourself. When you go to work and you're going to work for somebody else, You are helping them build their dreams. But where does that time go to build yours? It's all well and good to go to work for somebody, but don't sacrifice your own dreams in the meantime, paying off your debts to just idly live. No matter how much good you do for other people, they will only remember the mistakes you made. To reach something, you need to be able to leave some things behind. It's best to leave the things behind at the right time. Otherwise, you might be leaving with too much regret, too much heartache, or too much pain. Not to mention, the complaints that you'll have will be endless. But you'll still be left in a lot of pain. You may not realize this, but the people you love are actually your biggest weaknesses. If you are impatient, it will only make life that much harder. Harnessing patience and gaining more wisdom and knowledge to do wondrous things is amazing. It's commendable. Trust is easy to build, but it can become shattered in seconds. Don't fear a hard decision. Hard decisions may be the best decisions you end up making. Though sometimes it's hard to say and feel what's actually going on in our hearts and minds, you should never stop trying to say and use the words to actually express what's going on inside of your hearts and your minds, or anything else for that matter. Though sometimes that history needs to be thoroughly gone through. Don't stay living there, as living there is only going to earn a future that is going to be just as dim. To have a brighter future, one must make amends with their past, and no matter how much it hurts to move on, you have to move on with the best intentions. Taking action is great, but taking massive action is even better. And if you can take that action that you are already taking and you times it by 10, you'll be more valuable in reading and planning. You'll be more valuable in your experiences, and you'll be more valuable as a teacher. There never exists in any relationship without self-interest. So every one of us is, in short, marrying out of selfish interests. But nevertheless, if you aren't dating for marriage, you are dating for heartache and heartbreak. And sometimes that heartbreak can be too much. And sometimes that heartbreak can cause a person to die. Wounds that run so deep, like many other diseases like diabetes, end up hurting inside of our brains so bad that they leave these little pockets where they start bleeding. And where they start bleeding, there forms pus, such is why the older you get, the harder it is for you to think straight. This is also why it's an important step to take to write and never stop writing. If you can't write, you won't be able to speak right. If you want to speak right, learn how to write. And learn how to write right. Be genuinely searching for that forever spark, the one that only continues to sparkle. Day in and day out, it sparkles more and more. Not the ones that start to sparkle with the least intensity in moments that you were counting on them. Be in serious, committed relationship, real relationship. Hopefully that relationship that you love and you're fond of now will end up being your first true kiss and your last true kiss that you'll ever take. If you love someone, love them with all of thine heart. After all, what is the point in having a relationship if you're not going to take it to those deeper, more meaningful levels? Worry doesn't take away tomorrow's trouble. It only will take away today's peace. Respect yourselves more and more often, because you'll see it if you don't. If you don't clear up the misunderstandings in due time, those misunderstandings then become the reason for making those hard decisions and distancing yourselves. A forever decision. Sometimes it's a forever, really hurtful decision. But again, take all of the time that you need. If you don't give it clarity into the matters of the heart, into what is actually going on in your life, where your heart is concerned, and you don't act with quickness, you only give clarity to show others just how much you mean to other people. Anyone you love can die at any time and at any moment. So cherish them, multiply with them in every fashion. Never divide. I'd rather be your favorite footstool than your greatest enemy. Cherish your friends and your family and the ones who mean the most to you. Because if you never because if you do everything possible that you can and do for them to earn time freedom, and then you do everything possible, and even if you never succeed there, even if you never actually set yourselves free from the current situation, at least you mustered enough courage to try and to give it all you got. That is worth more than that money could bring into your life. Without that, any amount of money is meaningless in your relationships. Nothing is ever going to be as easy as it seems. You need momentum. A rocket doesn't stop in midair to catch its breath or relax. In order to break orbit, it needs to be going at top speed. So there's nothing better that you can do to save yourself than to save a little bit more money each day. And when you're working on those dreams, compounding interests can do wonders. Good things come to those who wait for it and suffer much heartache in the process. It might take time, it might be a long, full road ahead of all of the things that are meant to come to test you and to throw you into tribulationary periods, but it's totally and completely worth it. Whether it's a machine, a relationship, or a complex, it is always cheaper to maintain what you already have than to try and fix something you have after allowing it to become broken. Fix it before it gets broken. Otherwise, there's more parts that need to be fixed, and it's going to be costly. And in relationships, it could even be deadly, according to the Bible. It's a sad fact, but respect in most cases is directly proportional to your balance in your bank account. We cry over people, but what about time? Do we ever cry over losing time? Time is also never going to come back, so your time should be everything to you. And speed, another. One day it will define you. The things that really count in life are your health and your achievements. You always make the best decisions when you're in pain, because of expressing that same pain again becomes the strongest motivator. In life's darkest moments, you'll see the most clearly. Refocusing on your achievements and goals will open your thoughts and minds to all the adventures that you've been working towards. The harder your history was, the brighter your future will be. You may not lead a most comfortable life with a single source of income, so you need to start building on others. Most of the stuff you worry about never happens. If you want to attract better things in your life, become those better things in your life. Patience is power. You sometimes have to let go of something good to make room for something better. Sometimes we feel that good is our best. We want that good to become our better and to become our best. You're not just merely good. You are the best. But what you choose to do determines whether or not you'll be the best or whether or not you'll be the worst. Be earnest and willing in all of your endeavors. When you make sacrifices of yourself for what you love, you don't ever sacrifice any more of yourself where you are undervalued. If you are undervalued, you have to not tolerate it. You have to build a zero tolerance policy where disrespect is given and tolerated, and especially not from your own self. We often do this, and we get into a bad habit of disrespecting and neglecting ourselves. Listen more than you speak, because wisdom often comes from silence. Create and stick to your own personal budget. Kindness is a language with which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. This is how easy it can become to use discernment when it comes to others and their attempt to perverting your future or hiding the truth. Worry gives you something to do, but like that last relationship, worrying will get you nowhere. You can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep attaching yourself to the last one. The best views only come after the longest and hardest climbs. And if you're really going to be formidable, there's another higher climb right after that. So you might be tired. Relax. Get up and go at it again. Formulate a plan that sets you in a grind daily, that puts you in the mind frame that says, I am not going to be okay if I do this. I am not going to be okay if I do that. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it has to be that smaller voice inside that tells us, I will try again tomorrow. Laughter is always the best medicine for the soul. So no matter how down you get, take the time to find something that makes you laugh. Even if you sound crazy laughing because you never laugh. Laugh anyway. Laugh hysterically. Let no one come lurking where they sabotage your peace of mind and joy, and the places that they can bring you to should mean absolutely everything to you. A sense of belonging is great, but without that true fortitude and authenticity in your actual actions within your inner work, belonging in groups like that will eventually mean nothing to you. You'll find out that there's a rainbow in the rain, and you won't see it if you're looking down. You only see it if you continue to look up. Sometimes life takes us down, and it hurts, and it's tiresome, and it's lonely. So when you have the opportunity, even if you don't feel like that person might be worth it to you, that person could be the only thing that you ever need. Give them a chance. Always pay off your debts, your credit cards. It will save you a lot of trouble later. The best revenge you can make is creating massive success in your own life. The more you give, the more you will receive. The heart that snares is the kind of heart that is full. Tough times don't last. Only tough people do. So when you feel like you've been doing enough, grind 10 times harder. Tap into your own potential. Create a new space for that potential to hone in on it and let it grow. Foster it as you do your spiritual well-being. When you're out there making moves, make many of them. You don't know which move you're going to make. That can chart a forever change in your life, in whatever course it takes. Chart it out and work harder than anybody else around you at that. The most valuable currency is not money. It's time. Spend your time wisely. Let no second up to chance. A ship might be safe at harbor, but that's not what ships were designed for. They were designed for the seas. The way you treat others reflects who you are, not who they are. When someone goads you on, just antagonizing you, just to get a reaction out of you, remain calm in the face of this deceit. They want you to get all worked up. You might get called out of character for a little bit, but it should tell you something. Allowing people that kind of placement in your life is like giving the devil a seat in your own life or inviting him into your home. It's not about having what you want rather than wanting what you already have. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the moments that you have and make them perfect. Believe in yourself and the rest will fall into place. Life is too short to always play it safe. Get out there and try. Failure here is a must, but get back up and try again. The more you continue to craft a life that you love, the more that you'll love the life that you've crafted. So reach for your passions, because not reaching is only going to cause you more pain in the end, more regret. You should always take accountability for your actions, for they are the mark of a mature individual. Take a break to breathe. It's just a bad day, bad month. Maybe it even feels like a blackened year of your life. Nothing good has happened. Just remember this. You're forging forward, and especially where you are trying to take up and level up your skills, you work tirelessly, and you work so hard on yourself. There's going to come a lot of jealousies and envies and deceptions and deceit. These are just a few of what can happen and what will most likely happen. Someone will show you who they truly are and take it upon yourself to move on with that pain. If someone can consider that kind of falling out with you a formidable falling out, not only do they actually deserve your wrath, but much, much worse. If they aren't trying to come out of the hiding places, let them be ghosts. You don't have to extinguish your own soul to distinguish yourselves for them. You know how you feel. You know how the things that they did made you feel in your bellies. Sometimes you just have to be okay with letting that be enough. If you are the type of person to always say somebody or someday somebody else will do it or someday I'll do it, to try and change that someday or somebody else into now and me, and let's see what a difference that makes in your life. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. And don't wait for someday. Today is the day that you're going to make the difference. Don't let the life lesson be that you were waiting for the right kind of life to go after for it. No matter where it is that you're at, you'll never have the perfect conditions to go after it. So instead of thinking that anything that's going to be worthwhile is just going to set up somehow miraculously for you perfect conditions, it's not going to ever happen. You have to condition your own perfect and craft into that life of yours what matters to you. Nobody else is going to do that work for you. Donate to charity. Even small acts of kindness can change lives. One thing nice you can do for someone, and most assuredly you'll come back to tenfold, is that one plan that you have set into action. One thing that you can set into motion may in fact be the only thing that changes other people's lives. But it will most assuredly change yours. And it'll happen. If it hasn't happened already, it'll happen soon. When you finally do wake up, and you wake up from the matrix and the slavery that we've been living in, you will undeniably feel a lot of pain. Because you see, they don't want you to escape the matrix. So you must keep your third eye open at all times. A person who doesn't make mistakes in life doesn't make much of anything at all. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails in order that you can still reach your final destination. One day, you will look back and be super proud of yourselves for never giving up, even though 99% of the others being dealt with the same kind of deception and betrayals and all the heartache that you've had to face would have given up years ago. Forgive yourself, for you have changed. You've changed in irrevocable ways. You're trying to become the formidable man that you've wanted to become. And look, today, you've sculpted yourself into a formidable man. If you don't let go of all of the wrong in your life, you'll never meet or make room for any of the right to come in. Trust that the Lord will send you exactly what you need and when you need it. Sometimes we literally only make it by the grace of God alone. No regrets, just do better next time. There will always be someone who doesn't see your worth, someone who will eventually not value your worth. Don't let it be yourselves in the process. Seek respect, not attention. It lasts longer. Be careful who you trust. Salt and sugar look the same. The taste is completely different. Time always expresses what you will truly mean to somebody. Life will separate you from friends and loved ones. So cherish every moment that you get to spend with them. Staying private and living on your own terms, especially when you are basically forced to do it by trust. You need to hold yourselves in high esteem no matter what. This time, it did. It went a little too far. Your heart hurts a little bit too much. You feel like you're a little bit too close to death with this betrayal. But keep to yourself. Stay in your grind. Grind in silence. Not telling everyone everything is self-care. But when you do have something to be accountable to, and you don't tell the truth, you carry some of the most wicked demons anyone can hold. I don't care what anybody says. If you're a Christian and you're saying you don't have any problems with demons, you're not a Christian. We all have demons. You are either going to have to lower your standards to the backbiters and evilmongers, or you're going to have to up your standards to the cross and place yourselves within the armor of Christ. Your walk with God is paramount to your success. All other successes that you can even make in life isn't very successful without God first and foremost. And just like money, no amount of money you hold will ever make you more happy. The only thing that these people go after when they have all of the money is power. And power moves into incorrectly tarnish your lives. Anyone or anything that hinders the work of the Holy Ghost to be able to move in your life disrupts God's plans and the work that God is not only trying to move in their lives, but the work that He's also trying to move in your own life. So when you're faced with an issue like that, and you don't do the right thing, the very behavior and act that you take upon in your lives is a middle finger to God, the Creator, the one that gave you life in the first place. Buy real estate, land, or anything that you can afford. Do the things that no one else can do so that you can become what others can't become. Let no one ever follow you, and never allow anyone into your heads who poses a threat to your peace or poses a threat to you. Accept whatever life is, let go of what it was, but always have faith in what's to come. So many people will love you for who you truly are. Don't focus on the people who don't. You deserve it. Whatever it is that you're going for, whatever it is that inspires you and takes the best part of you out of you, you deserve it all. Define what it means to you to get out there and to be living your actual dreams. Reflect on it, think about it, create it in your mind and in your actions as though it's already there. The career you want, the kind of love life that you want, the family that you want, the people and the peace in your life that you want, the dream life that you want. These things don't have to be dreams at all. Go after it all and get what you are owed. Get what matters to you. Get what's deserved to you. What matters to you in your own heart should matter the most to you. You, my friend, are way more valuable than you think. Not everyone has it within them to do all of the things that you're doing. Not everyone wants to go into the dark places that you're willing to go. So go there tenaciously with that person. Go there in a real-time way. Go there, and don't go there half-assedly. Go there all the way. You might become a little blurry-eyed in your vision, but it will get clearer with time. Patience is your ally. Never forget who helped you in the difficult times. Also, never forget who may have wanted to keep you down and keep you there, or maybe even wanted you dead to cover up their own. You alone are enough. You alone have what it takes. You alone can do everything that you need to do. You have what it takes with right where you are at right now. And if you start today with what you have right now, you'll gain better in time. God provides to those who seek refuge in His name. No matter how difficult the past is, you can always begin again. Sometimes you have to forge through the fires in life in order to become the better version of yourself. Be okay with it being alone. Be okay with it being lonely sometimes until you find someone that sees your true value, because once you do, that person is going to shine so much more brighter to you than if you're running around just being smarmy and weird. Take care of your health, because it doesn't matter what you gain from this life. If you haven't gotten your health in order, you won't have much else. Energy flows where your attention goes. So failure to kick out your own negative vibes and failure to kick out your own depression and your own worry, that is where all of your energy is going to go to. Instead of giving any attention to these negative emotions or these negative energies, remove them at once, at least from your own bodies and your own minds. I said stop letting that stuff stir in your mind. I caught you. You were trying to let that stuff stir. Channel your thoughts and your energy. Focus on God. And focus on being able to give everything in your life over to God. Then, and seriously only then, can you let Him work within you and work within your life to feel the changes that can imbue in your life. Undoubtedly, within a very short amount of time, you'll be able to tell that God is real. If you can make a woman truly happy internally, you can make her do anything. Easy times will have lots of company, but the bad times will always reveal who your true friends really are. And sometimes the true friends that really were helping you out of a situation are the same friends that'll put you right back in. Those aren't your friends. Better days are coming, and you don't always have to wake up in the morning with that same go-to attitude, with all of that heaviness in your heart. Remove it. If you wake up with it, remove it and give it to God. If you can't remain calm in certain situations, you probably shouldn't open your mouths. A true friend should never feel discouraged to doing what they feel is right for themselves. You should always be supported in reaching for truth, especially by friends. You're simply going to have to get privy in order to get things that make you rather uncomfortable if you are ever going to discern the truth. Though the truth yet is sometimes hard to uncover, stay focused in your pursuit of it. When if normally you could feel comfortable going up to certain people or going to certain people with your concerns, and it is backed by a lot of heart-centered conversations, you should be and have the utmost concern for what that person is doing regarding you. Where safety is the concern, protect your value at all costs necessary. Those actions are like war moves, to be hot one minute and cold as ice the next. Truth be told, you do not deserve whatever the hell you are going through, but you do deserve the truth. Love is a formidable bond, so if someone is gaslighting and manipulating you only to gain the likings of another, you have to let that person go. But you still deserve to know the truth, and that they aren't getting it. It should scare you at least a tiny little bit, coming to find out just how little you meant to somebody that meant so much to you. Your strongest muscle and your biggest enemy is your own mind. Train it well, armor it, and ask God to step into it. Don't react to their patterns of deceit. Cut them out. Cut them out silently. Someone else's progress doesn't make yours any less valuable. Never let the same people disappoint you twice. Accept the fact that some people like to point fingers and blame others. You will get blamed for things that you haven't done. Even blamed for future endeavors. Even all the while, they are the ones doing the wrong, or doing the act that they're insinuating you are doing. Stop complaining and toughen up. All of that energy is wasted on a valuable progress. Nobody cares anyway. They'll say, "At least it isn't me," and move along just fine. You'll realize that you can't control how other people are willing to act or behave. But you can control how you steer your own life, and sometimes that's even better. Always move in your own direction, not according to society, family, or friends. If you are that out of control, you are like the breeze, whimsical, and going to and fro without a care in the world. How you affect people matters. People end up taking care of those that they love, or sometimes those that you love will end up taking real good care of you. It's a sad fact, but trust no one. You sometimes won't be able to tell the real from the mask. And even scarier if you have to live that way. Live life in such a way that no matter what it takes, you're willing to create time for fun and enjoy what life has for you, what's in store for you. If you can't get to have fun and truly feel excited and vibrant about life, what fun is it? That's no fun at all. The more you know, the dumber you will evidently sound to stupid people. Pay attention to the negative signs, as vibes that people give off and immediately disconnect from them. It will save you a lot of time and pain, but most importantly, it will save your time. Never take the brunt of anything that doesn't belong to you, and never take the responsibility for that which doesn't belong to you either. Never sell out, and trust your instincts on matters, and also, and most importantly, never take your loved ones for granted. Have boundaries, and be discerning about who you let into your life. If you want to help yourself, find someone worthy to serve. It's through service you gain experience, contacts as reliable and accountable allies. The less possessions you own, the happier and less burdened you will be in your life. Life is often very ambiguous. Sometimes there isn't a right or a wrong decision that you can make. Things are not always completely clear. You might not get the answer, so you'll just have to wing it. Don't leave someone to teach them a lesson. Rather, leave them because you learned yours. Life is far from over, but it is also very, very short. If you want to do something, do it. But don't sacrifice what you want for what you want right now. When in doubt, just take that next small step. Make and keep friends that you want to emulate, not the people whom you think are the most likely to accept you. The people you associate yourselves with are the people that will shape your future. Be careful who you marry, and even more careful about who you have kids with. Slow down and realize that mistakes are essential in learning anything of value. Get yourselves together before you get older. As the older you get, the harder and harder it is to change. Nobody actually gives a rat's ass about you besides family. If you can count your friends with one finger, you're lucky. If you can count them on one hand, consider yourself extremely blessed. Start saving your money and start to manage your money better. Don't spend it on homes that you can't afford or fancy cars you don't need to live. You don't need to live like Hollywood. Don't run your credit cards up to the max, and never think to yourself that you have the money before you actually do. Work for it. Work hard for it. In the end, you'll be much happier for having to be so disciplined and work harder for it than others have had to. It's character building. Nothing is always as bad as it seems, and nothing will be as bright as it may seem. So stay humble in your pursuits. The meek will inherit the earth. Take good care of your health, because without your health, there's absolutely nothing you do that will account for much. No amount of money can bring you joy if you aren't healthy, or if you're just suffering. Make your pride and joy the work that you do, to bring joy and peace to other people. Make passive income your work before you turn 50. You'll never be sorry for telling someone how much you love them, so do it before it's too late. The only little regret that you'll have is if you love someone dearly and you don't tell them. Save a little money every week or every month. It's like a financial buffer. Believe it or not, it can save you in the end. Be a loyal partner, or just stay single. It's really that simple. Expect nothing, appreciate everything, and be grateful for the little things in your life that bring you peace. Do your best to trust the process, work a little harder, and go in your grind, in your own way, and in your own work. The harder you work, the luckier you will get. Never take anything personally. What other people do and say is a projection of their own reality. As a Christian, You want to be forgiving, and it calls you to be understanding. But don't be taken for a fool. Just because your heart is sincere doesn't mean others are. Nevertheless, you still go after the life that you want with grit, developing a strong sense of self, create and recreate if you have to, but never give up. Never say maybe if you really want to say no. When someone shows you who they are, or who they are going to decide to be, especially in times of struggle and in times of health decline, believe them the first time they show you. Your self-respect and esteem you have for yourselves and others has to be stronger than your feelings. Don't let success go to your head. Stay humble in your pursuits. Don't let failures go to your heart. You know it's going to be a dogfight to rise up. Rise up anyway. Do the best that you know how to be. The best way to earn respect one's own self is to discipline themselves. If you have that kind of heart, where you're always the giver, also learn your limitations, because the takers don't have any. Don't waste so much time with explanations. People literally only hear what they want to hear. Accept and learn the difference between healthy criticism and complete lack of an emotional gravity. The kind of emotional gravity and the disrespect that's given. Never ever give up on something you want. It's difficult to wait and to work hard for it, but it's a lot better than leaving regret in your wake. If you have a lot inside of your chests where love is concerned to give to your partner, give it. There's not a better time than now. When you are angry, stay silent. We have the power at our disposal to affect the lives around us in a profound and impactful way. Encouraging growth and fostering a community of people of true character is commendable. You have 3 choices in life. You can watch things happen, make things happen, or wonder what the hell just happened. Stay strong. Even when things are falling apart, you're being judged no matter what you do. So fuck it. Be what you want to be. Do what you want to do. Just don't do it if it's going to hurt somebody, especially not someone you love. You don't have to win every argument. Sometimes agreeing to disagree and just walking away is quite fine. No regrets, just lessons. No worries, just acceptance. No expectations, just gratitude. Life is too short. Live every minute of it. The calmer you are, the clearer you'll be able to think. The more interested in others, the more interesting they find you to be. Interesting. So be interested in others. If you're not falling down occasionally, you're just coasting. Hatred is a curse that does not affect the hated. It only poisons the hater. Release it. Release a grudge as if that grudge is poison for our bodies. We suffer more in imagination than we do in reality. People change. Love hurts. And things do go wrong. But no matter what, always remember that life goes on. Learn to say no, you're wrong. Learn to stand up for yourselves without having to over-explain yourself. Be a good person, but don't waste your energy or time with anybody that's trying to prove it. If they can't handle that you're a man of your word, they aren't trying to prove to you that you are. Scout's honor is Scout's honor. Break that, and it's not them, but you that isn't holding up to their end of that honor system. Never tell your friends your plans. Never put too much trust in them. Don't let anyone know what you are doing until it's done. If you want to be trusted, be honest. It's that simple. The only one who cares about your hopes and dreams is you. And the only person that's going to try to make those dreams come true is you. So forget what hurt you. Forget those who will continue to only hurt you. But never forget what lessons they taught you. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. Even the nicest people have their limitations. Your direction is far more important than your speed. Control your thoughts, or let your thoughts control you. Don't overshare. Privacy is power. Don't make a permanent decision based on temporary emotions. To the very best you have to offer, You have to be able to handle even the very worst situations. So as long as you have breath within your body, there is no obstacle that can present itself that is permanent. You'll never learn if you think you have the right all the time, or if you have to be right all the time. Stay patient. The best things in life happen unexpectedly. Serendipity. Never regret a day in your life. Good days give happiness, bad days experience, and the worst days give us lessons. And the best days give us memories that we cherish. Life is a one-time offer. Use it well. Be yourself. People don't have to like you much, but you also don't have to care. Free yourselves from society's advice. Most of them have no clue what's actually going on. They have no clue what they are actually doing. At first, it hurts, and then it makes you stronger. Normalize walking some paths completely alone, because some goals that you have are personal. The family that you create. The family that you create is more important than the family you come from. And life is too short, so live it when you get the chance to. Love is also rare, so grab it. Anger is bad, dump it. Fear is awful, face it. Memories should always be sweet, cherish them, and forget those that made you hurt within them. Just because you missed someone you loved a lot, doesn't mean that you need them back in your life. Missing them is just a part in getting over them. Before you are old, attend to as many funerals as you can, and just so you can bear and listen. Nobody talks about the departed achievements. The only thing people will remember is what kind of person you were while you were achieving. Have at least one person in your life that will be completely open and honest with you, and someone that you can always be completely open and honest with. Never share that level of intimacy with someone who will lie to you. Even the littlest, tiniest lies is enough sometimes to feel 100 others. It's good to be generous and magnanimous. Benign. But there's a limit, or you'll be taken for granted. Learn to give things to God and sort through it. Learn to let go and actually let God. It's easier said than done, I know, but holding on to things will always only make you more stressed. Things won't ever happen in any certain way just because you want them to. People betray, people backbite, and people do some hideous things behind your back. People cower away when confronted with deep and dark lies. Lies they create. Learn from what people show you, not from what they tell you. Never react in anger immediately. You have to wait for it. What's said and done in anger is irreversible. Don't regret the past because at that moment you did your best. See people for who they are, not for who you need them to be. Never jump to conclusions. Be discerning, but don't be an idiot. Let people decide when and how they want to show you their true colors. And never overlook contempt. When someone looks over at you and talks to you like you are beneath them, they will likely do you a lot of harm. Rationally, socially, or physically, remove that person from your life immediately. Never share your problems with your friends or your family until you've personally found a solution. No matter how challenging that solution is. Don't show weakness in front of others. They won't care, and they will enjoy the show. Listen to people who tell you what you don't want to hear. Self-pity is dangerous. Stay away from it. Just because you might be going through hell right now doesn't mean that you won't be able to smile and enjoy life again. That pain is purely temporary. You spend all of your health for your wealth, and then one day comes along and you'll be spending all of that wealth for your health. You'll realize something went very wrong, however, when you realize that you haven't been able to make that first part true wealth. The only constant in life is change. Embrace it, and you will grow. Time is nobody's friend. No matter how much you fight for more time, it's hard to create more of it. How hard you fight will determine what time defines you as. Time is a valuable power to harness. Create that time, or let time come around and mess things up for you. Say please and thank you often, and hold doors for people behind and in front of you. There's too many people that forget how to be human in a moment's notice. You can't change the past, but you can shape your future by learning from it. The heaviest burden we carry is the weight of our own expectations of others. So expect nothing. Work towards something in mind, and work on your own craft. When and if something good comes your way, you will cherish it wholeheartedly more than other people may take notice. And that's okay too. You can cherish the fuck out of somebody inside your chest. Anyways, it's good to cherish people in a way that shows people that you cherish them. But when you sit there inside and you can tell them and show them that you care about them, and you really actually care a whole lot about them inside of your hearts, it's better to stay to yourselves than to be in bad company. But make sure to tell the company that you love them. When you stop chasing the wrong things in life, you give the good things a chance to catch up. There are no shortcuts to any place in this life that's actually worth going. You'll never actually know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. Don't let what you can't do interfere with what you can. And don't let yourself get backed up. Wake up earlier. Attack it, tired or not, until you wake up formidable and you have that energy back. And by that time, you'll be able to feel accomplished and look back at all of the work that you've done. The best way to gain confidence is to get out there and do the things that you're afraid to do. A river cuts through rock not because of its power, but rather because of its persistence. There is no elevator to success here. You have to take the stairs. The greatest risk is not taking one. Happiness isn't something to put off until the future. It's something you craft in your life right now. Life won't get better by chance. It will only get better by change. You are only confined in life by the walls that you construct yourself. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So don't eat the garbage that they are selling you. Eat whole foods and try to live healthy and active. Focus in the now of what you can control and totally let go of anything that you can't. Take time to enjoy life's simplest pleasures. It's oftentimes in these moments that you'll find the most joy. Give, and when you do, give without ever expecting reciprocity or anything in return. When you give, rather than give of something tangible, give them something of you. And if they value you, the gift of yourself is enough. The only time you should ever have to look back is to only be able to see how far you've come. You cannot have a positive life staying inside of a negative mind. And sometimes negativity gets the best of us. So channel your thoughts. Act wisely. Do everything you can to get rid of a negative mind. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. In the face of adversity, remember that diamonds are made under a lot of pressure. When you get tired or just fed up, learn how to rest, not quit. Do not ever let the dark shadows of your past darken the doorsteps of your future. With somebody's looks or abilities to manipulate, but true worth comes from being a genuine person in general. So if you aren't loyal, it really doesn't matter with what your looks or charm and how it might take you far. You're not going that far. Instead, being that way is literally the definition of what it means to be worthless. Don't postpone your own joys in life for the sake of the future, for nobody is promised a tomorrow. All we truly have is today. Be grateful for it and try your best to do the right things. The first step towards getting somewhere is to decide that you aren't willing to stay where you are. Don't chase women. Instead, focus on your own personal growth first, your own values, and cultivating kindness. The right person will find their way into your life at the perfect moment, without the need to chase them. Never bend your head and hold your chin up. Look the world straight in the eye. The true test of a man is what he does when no one is watching. So no, you don't have to win every argument. Simply agree to disagree and walk away. It's sometimes all that you'll need. One day, I'll make it happen. Or, today is day one, and I'm going to work really hard to make it so. Be that second. The choice is always yours. Spend time wisely with the elderly. Their experiences and wisdom is invaluable. Keep your circle small and your life private and a peaceful mind. Sometimes we create our own heartbreaks through expectations. However, sometimes we do expect a certain amount of eagerness within our relationships or a certain formidable connection. It's okay that you are making mistakes. It proves that at least you are trying something. Use things, not people. Love people in your life, not things. Even the smallest lie can break the biggest trust. It bears the question in mind. What else would you lie about if you're willing to lie about something that small? Be kind and generous without expecting anything in return. Embrace solitude as your time to heal, a time to reflect, and most importantly, a time to really discover and dive into who you are without them. Sometimes we let people become a big part of our lives while leaving huge parts of us in the past and our parts of us behind. You have to learn to not let those things be left behind you for somebody that you love. You might love them, but in the end, you're only destroying yourself by letting them take away that time that you would otherwise be spending on building yourself up. The greatest lesson to learn in life is this: not everyone you trust will end up being trustworthy. Do not be afraid to express vulnerability. It only proves how strong you really are. Learn to handle rejection gracefully. Sometimes it's just a part of life's process. If you're going to wait to become a formidable man or woman, you're going to have to be willing to go through heartache in order to work through that pain that you create. For now, breathe. It's just a bad day, or maybe even a crappy month, but it isn't a whole bad life. Sometimes you just have to be willing to wait. Just wait it out. Things will get better. We have 4 problems. 4. We overtrust, we overshare, we overthink, and we overlove. It only sets our hearts up to be hurt, broken, and taken for granted. In life, you're going to be let down, heartbroken many times, but it's how you respond that truly matters. Don't let anyone ever make you feel like you don't deserve the kind of life or the kind of love life that you want. You have to do what's right for you, even if it hurts some other people that you love. You have to do these things for you, and oftentimes, doing those things for people that you love, you come to find out they don't love you. They're not true to you. You're only human. You can only do so much, tolerate so much, and take so much before it just becomes too much. The days that break you are the days that make you. Make more moves and less announcements. Time doesn't wait for anybody. It only urges you to catch up or get left behind. No relationship is worth damaging your mental health for. Depend on only yourselves to dig your way out. Never depend on others. Because where you would be counted on, you'll be left counting. And that's it. Counting. Counting on men, where they've been able to count on you. But you'll just be left counting. Being too nice breaks you. Being too loving controls your heart. Trust yourself. You've survived the storm this far. You'll survive what's coming. You'll grow mentally weak the more you allow yourself to get too comfortable. Don't get too comfortable. Sometimes loneliness is just the price tag on growth. You are who you are for a reason. Honestly, their approval of you isn't even necessary. The only approval you need in anything is the approval of your own selves. Learn from what people do, not from what they tell you. Expect nothing, and you will never get disappointed. Embrace every opportunity you can take up, because regrets come from all of those small chances that we didn't take, not from the ones that we did. Sometimes all you need is that one final leap of faith, and all of your dreams can come true. But what if you didn't take that leap? It's a sad thing to think about. So take that leap. Put your faith in God and take a leap of faith. Chances to make a formidable life come from those leaps of faith. Unless you want to stay mediocre and not really make anything of yourselves, then I guess don't take that leap of faith. If you can dream it up, you can craft it. If you can think it up, you can work on it. Stop telling people more than they need to know, especially if they aren't even concerned about where you are trying to take your own life. If they cared, they'd be there in it with you. Walk with Christ. Those that want to walk with you won't be afraid of Christ, and they'll walk with Christ too. If they don't care, they'll only be in it to ensnare that very essence of who you are, what you're trying to do, and where you are trying to go. And they'll make sure it's going to be harder and harder to move into those places that you are trying to go. Just let it be what it is. Some people are bitter. If it's meant to be, it'll be. So trust in God's timing with everything that you do. Your past was never a mistake if you learn from it. Once you feel someone's avoiding you, never disturb them again. They aren't worth your time. People will forget what you've said, but they will never forget what you did. But people will never forget, ever, ever how you made them feel. Some things are meant to cross your way, but are not meant to stay. Your direction and what you aim for in your own life is way more important. Do what's right and get good at it first. Then the speed will come naturally. Never fall in love with the same person twice, because the second time, you're falling in love with the memories, not the person that they are. Perceive failure as only a teacher, while also being a necessary step towards any success. Celebrate even the smallest victories and milestones, for they will pave the way to your best achievements. Whoever brings you the most peace should earn the most of your available time. If someone makes you feel peace within your body, they should earn the most of your trust. Never be afraid to treat people the way they treat you. Just don't be like they are in general. Be real with people, because it saves everyone time. Never think twice about investments into yourself. They pay dividends for a long time. You've gotten into bad habits of doubting yourself and saying things that minimize your own self. You have to let go of that. Let other people try to minimize you. Don't let them. Your value, in part, is worth more than those who minimize have in their whole arsenal of worth or value. You can tell more about a person by what they say about others than by what others have to say about them. Your heart will always tell you where to go, and your head will always guide you there safely. Start using one without the other, and no matter the volume or magnitude of your love for them, you'll end up just getting lost in your own head. And sometimes it's exactly where they wanted you to be in the first place, alone and inside of your own head, as if you're just being left for dead. Leave them behind you as if they are dead then, because Lord knows, whatever they did to leave you for dead couldn't have been that good. Life only gets to be lived one time, so in this one life that you have, do what makes you happiest. You don't do big things in this life if you're going to let some smarmy ass heartless people distract you or get the best of you. Remember, 5 years ago, when you dreamed of being where you are at right now, never stop praying to change the most important aspects of your life, especially the aspects within the heart. You do deserve that happiness, that kind of life that extends into all areas of your life. Think about it. Not everyone is going to want to be your friend, and that's okay. You don't want everybody's friendship anyways. Pay attention to people who choose to fall out on you. When it comes in numbers, though, and many people are falling out at the same time, those are all planned falling outs. Intentionally vacancy and emotional avoidance. Just pay attention to people. You don't always have to be going and always be doing. Sometimes it's okay to take a step back and just chill and focus on your own healing and your own relaxation. These things are important to be able to continue within your grind. Grind all the time, and you'll be left with no emergency energy left at all to continue in that perspicacity and tenacity. Give back, even if it's $1 to someone less fortunate. Or, like I like to do, I go into restaurants and ask them specifically, does your business have enough money to feed a homeless person? There's a homeless person out here, and I'd like to get him a meal, or her a meal. They look frail, sick. And if they say yes, get that food for them and bring it to them. Don't just throw it at them. Try and actually sit with them. Sit with the low in life, in general. Sit with those going through hard times, for they sometimes have no hope left. And that you sat with them, gave them the hope for the rest of the year. Be that one that gives them hope back, not the one that doesn't take that time out to do this one simple task. It can take all of 10 minutes out of your day, and it may be the only thing that keeps one person alive. It might even be the only thing that gets them back up on their feet, willing to fight for what's right in their life. Set that tone back inside of the hearts of men and women. Don't drive that out of people. Never, ever take that value out of someone. Doing good to others makes me feel good. So I hope that you'll do the same. And I hope that you'll feel good about what you've done, because you did a good thing. Haven't you ever been in a really bad way? Haven't you ever been just really just not right? You know what it feels like then. I mean, maybe you should go give to charity. Maybe you should go donate your time. It would be nice if you did. But those things can not only change other people's lives, but more importantly, they can change you. Everything always happens for a reason. It's up to you to figure out what that reason is, or let it be a future endeavor to find out why. Do not fear getting hurt. You aren't going to grow if you don't get hurt. Just don't follow people to continue to hurt you, or who will continue to hurt you. You have to learn to walk away, go your own way, step into your own light. But don't you stay there. Don't ruin your health in order to earn a living, for you will end up spending all of your money on recovery. And that is not reciprocal at all. Be kind to people, but never allow them to take your kindness for weakness, as they will take away from your good nature. Efforts make you. Efforts you make never go in vain. How others see you isn't as important as how you view yourselves. So taking care of your own conscience should mean more to you than anything money could ever bring you. Work like a slave, because it's the kind of system and monetary system we live in today that's kind of ensured a most assuredly slavery of the sorts. So just learn to be okay with it. They'll keep skyrocketing the cost of living and the cost of everything, while little by little minimizing the money that you make, making you feel like you're making more with raises and stuff like that. But as time goes on, you'll realize that you're in the exact same place you were before. There's no truth in the system that's like actually trying to help people get out of homelessness and get out of debt and get out of war, poverty, and all that kind of stuff. So government your own self. 10x that kind of value. Bring that kind of value into the surface of your reality, and it will change at least who you are. Instead of letting that fact hinder you, just choose instead to work on the things within yourselves that bring joy into your life. I'm sure by doing so, you'll also become the inspiration that somebody else needs in order to also make their own comebacks in this life. You came into this world alone, and you will go out of this world alone. So that also means that any impossible thing that can be made possible by yourself alone as well. You don't need others. You only need you. Instead of letting that fact hinder you, just choose instead to work on the things within yourselves that bring you to life. I'm sure by doing so, that you'll also be inspiring someone else that needs to also be brought back to life. You came into this world alone, and you will go out of this world alone. If you punish the truth, expect to be lied to. You will look back on life and regret all of the things that you didn't do over the things that you did. Keep bettering yourselves, because things don't make us happy. Experiences and true hearts' connections do. If you waste money, you can get out there and get it up back up to where it was again. Work hard. Work harder than before. You'll earn it. If you miss your moment, it can never be returned. So don't waste time and don't miss your moments. It can never come back to you ever again. So my advice is to live life with 3 things open. Your eyes at all times, your ears at all times, and your hearts at all times. At least to the things that can be good to come into your life. People with the closed hearts earn nothing at all, because no matter how much money they hold, they aren't going to go into the places that you're going into, and they aren't going to make it. Strong people are always pretty simple. You spend your first 20 years worrying about what other people think of you. Next, you spend 20 years swearing that you don't care about what people think of you. And then you'll spend the next 20 years realizing that they aren't even thinking about you at all. So there's a life lesson to learn, especially if you're young. Never let what others know about your weaknesses. Instead, outmatch their efforts in trying to do something positive for yourselves. Create your masterpiece. With all that heavy shit people throw on you, create daily. You might be completely sucking at your content creation right now, and at your craft right now. But how else do you think people get good? The act of doing is all that makes the difference. Don't tell your friends that you're happy. In fact, don't tell them anything that isn't pertinent to your relationship to them alone. Don't do things that make your friends angry, but never tell your enemies that you're unhappy. because they love it and enjoy watching you in all of that pain. Don't give them the satisfaction. Instead, keep your romances to yourself, because that quote-unquote friend might just be a frenemy trying to meddle in, dig into your thoughts. And if that happens, even the smallest of lies insinuates the fact of their planning and instilling that kind of falling out with you. If someone wants to instigate a falling out with you, you fall off faster than they. Never let anyone cheat on you. For if they do, they really cheated on themselves. Screw them. Focus on you. You focus on coming back up in your life 10 times stronger than you were before. And you'll find yourself stronger than you ever were before. And if you keep doing that, you'll become formidable in whatever you encounter. And no matter if they cheated or didn't cheat, or if they treated you this way, sometimes it's enough just in the gut feelings. And that's all you need to know moving forward. You don't deserve to be put in that mind space. And a person that loves you, I think, won't ever allow you into that kind of mind space, ever. Just because someone is good at keeping the lies at bay, doesn't mean there's not something going on. Nevertheless, you stay on your convictions with God, and you try to be the best you can be to other people. You choose it for yourself. You don't cheat. You choose to heal. You choose to grow. You choose to become a formidable man, because those kinds of people will put you into early graves. Time flies, and one day you're 30, and the next day you'll be 40. So plan and write up your goals and create a tasks list. Inch away at them until you're grinding in your sleep, compounding anything of zero value without those equitable and compounding relationships you should be striving for. Mean nothing without that compounding interest. You want equitable relationships in every way, in every place of your life. If it isn't equitable, don't hesitate. Move along. Something somewhere else is better for you. And somewhere in that plan to be an absolute animal in what you're good at. And home in on your craft. Some people look like shit at 40, but by the time they hit 45, they look solid and whole and brand new because of the effort that they put into themselves. And some people go in reverse. Sculpt that kind of mindset, the can-do attitude, and achieve anything that you want if you're willing to go out and work hard at it. What you want and what you dream for can't ever come true if you aren't at least putting it out there, trying to do things, moving in a different direction. Put in the effort, and what you're willing to work for can come into fruition, but it can't if you're not willing to put in that effort. Last but not least, you are here for a reason, but be patient. You already beat 1 billion odds or more that you are already here. So be super grateful for all of the things that seem insignificant to you maybe at the time, or insignificant to anybody else. People still do or people still try to live their lives for God and go back into the basics in order to achieve the kinds of love that they feel they were meant to feel. It's okay for people to go and do those things. If that's something that you want to do, obviously I support it 100%. I don't know why anybody else wouldn't support that kind of growth, but people that don't support that kind of growth are simply against that kind of love and that kind of growth altogether. Just because you feel the need to sacrifice whole gospels that are set in the Bible made for you doesn't give anybody the right to hurt you in any way. That hindrances the Holy Ghost from being able to do and move those heavy things in your life. And in fact, by doing so, I think those people are going to come back 10 times stronger with the things that the Holy Ghost is going to do and move in their lives. So help me God, I'm right. And if I'm wrong, well, what's new? There's a lot wrong in the world. Work on the heavenly things in your life so that you can feel blessed and you can feel amazing. Though others might not feel susceptible to the teachings and the knowledge within the King James, you still do you, and with that, they can keep their butter knives. Because it certainly is a battleground, and I'm not going into battle with anything other than the King James Version. Thanks for being here, and if this content resonates with you, I would appreciate any comments below. Please subscribe and hit that like button. It means a lot to me, and if you guys have anything to give, donate for a charity that's going to be doing amazing things. Please feel free to give. I'll set my Cash App in the link below, and I appreciate any amount of support and help in that fashion. It means a whole lot to me with where I'm at right now and with where I'm trying to go with Heartworks. So I appreciate you guys very, 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 very much, and from the bottom of my heart, I hope you continue to listen to where I'm trying to go with Heartworks. My heart's work.
Now that you've conjured my true name, your life will never be the same. Our future has changed forever, weaving a new past together. We can't run nowhere to hide, but we can fight and turn the tide. Let's dance and chase the storm away. time is right, the time is now. Keep on moving, you do know how. Under the moonlight haze we trance for a new dawn and a new chance. The power is in the music, the flow, the beat, and the mystic. We will survive and make it right all together.